Welcome back, guys.
Hey, welcome back to the
What
next
episode's
episode
this?
of the DeathBrick Show. And
Yes,
I think this is episode 4. Yes, and now today we are joined by a very
Really?
special
Who?
guest, our first guest of the show. Let's have a look here. In the banner, it seems we have Brickships.
Welcome.
Yo!
Hello.
Alright, now Brickships is a content creator who also lives here in Australia and is part of the ALU server. So it's great to have him here.
Thank you. I didn't know I was going to be the first guest.
Yeah, we had quite a few guests we were tossing up, and you were the first one to be
Yes,
available.
well done,
so
my friend.
congratulations.
Yeah.
All right, now before we start, Brickships, do you want to just sort of tell the viewers a bit about what type of content you do?
Yeah, alright, I can do that. So, I started my YouTube channel back in October of 2016, so I'm almost getting to the anniversary of my channel here.
Oh, cool.
On the 31st, so
Been
very
quite a while.
spooky day.
Mm.
But yeah, I started it off originally as a gaming channel, but
Oh, yeah.
quickly then found my love of the Titanic and wanted to build ocean liners in Lego. And I've been doing that basically ever since.
Mm-hmm. And so, do you still do any gaming, or is it just ocean liner stuff?
I do have a gaming channel. It's very, very inactive. I'm trying to put some love and attention into that, but it's just the Lego ocean liners are so much more fun.
Yeah. So how do you go about actually building ocean liners? Like, how do you start like a project, and what inspires you to start building one?
Well, it's usually whenever I find a new love for a new ocean liner that I haven't discovered yet, or something like that. But it's not as easy as one might think with designing Lego ships. Like, for the start it is, but you gotta look at plans of them. Like, I found a way through a friend of mine how to measure off side profile plans to get it down to the most correct length for, say, the boat deck area and all that stuff. But yeah, I use the program stud.io, the Bricklink Lego Studio designer, which is really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's basically how I do it.
Yeah. And so, do you design it on the stud.io and then order the parts? Because I'm pretty sure you can do that.
Yeah, I do
get a
that.
Parts list.
I do get the parts list, transfer it to Bricklink, and then buy it. It's very expensive hobby.
Yeah.
They do rack up some pretty hefty prices sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. projectbrickit.
Yay! I get
Next
my
question. I'm handing it
back.
over to you.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Questions. How many conventions have you been to with your ships?
I've been to 2 of current. I was planning on doing Brickvention next year, but I've opted out of it because I did it 2 years in a row. So I was like, I'll give it a break for this time, and I'll bring something extra cool to the
I
2025
remember seeing
one.
you at the
Nice.
2023 one. You had some good stuff there.
Yeah, I basically brought almost everything
'cause
I had
the
built at that
table
stage.
was full.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, there's been a few ships that were there that are no longer here, like my SS America,
Rip.
she's been scrapped. And
So
also,
if you guys,
my Oceanic 3 has been completely, is under refit. Like, entirely new model.
so have you
Do you
guys actually
remember
met
me?
in person?
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah, I can
He
remember.
remembers me.
Yo. How long ago was that? Was that the most
January.
recent convention?
Yeah, the January Brickvention.
Yeah.
Okay, so like start of the year. Cool. I haven't actually been to a convention ever. I've been to a Lego showcase in my local city. Not going to reveal which one. um, but yeah, I haven't actually been to a proper convention, so that's something on my bucket list to go meet some people. Our Project Brickit just sent through some of the a photo of the exhibition. So that's quite a lot of ships. How many ships do you think you have in total built?
In total built, geez, this is gonna just reveal how
Doesn't
much
every
of a
Lego
hole in my
collector have a
wallet
hole
I've
in their
got,
wallet?
but oh well.
Like, I know I burnt through $175
That
not
is
too
true.
long ago buying the Saturn V.
It's probably around 20 ships. Most of them are smaller. There's
Mhm.
only a handful of the larger ones.
Are any of them minifig scale, or is that
Uh,
going to be a bit too big?
like minifig scale, what? That's like 132 scale. That I'm pretty sure, like the Olympic, for example, would be like 8 meters long.
Damn.
Mine is little over a
That's-
meter long, so
That's still
still
pretty long.
they're still pretty big, and all of my ships are to scale with one another, which means the bigger
Oh, that's
ones
cool.
than the Olympic, say the Oceanic 3, is about 1 meter 40 centimeters, round about there.
Yeah. And so you have built the Lego Titanic as well. Have you built just one of them, or multiple
I don't
variations?
actually have the set, the official one, but I have built multiple of my own design. Like Titanic was the big stepping stone in my channel to get where it is today. If it wasn't for my 2019 Titanic movie that I made, yeah,
I'm just looking at that now. I've got your channel up, and I saw that there.
exploded. If you saw my most popular, that thing.
It's at the top with over 500,000 views.
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Yeah,
and then I also see that you've... Oh, sorry.
That's all good. You go.
Oh, okay. I also see that you've built some ships in Minecraft as well.
I have.
Not too long ago.
The bigger, like the ones from 4 years ago, back in 2019, they were someone else's builds. I was just recording my little fly around. I have built a few. They're all on my gaming channel. Well, there's one on my gaming channel, which is the SS Nomadic in 1-to-1, which I'm pretty proud of. That's not a very big ship. She's only 67 meters long.
But you do the meters to Minecraft blocks, that's still a bit of building.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
And so do you also do some stop motion as well?
Yeah, I have been doing a fair bit of stop motion. It is such a pain to do, but when you're in editing all the frames together and it comes out like almost buttery smooth, that is like the best feeling in the world.
What editing
so do you mostly do animation? No, you go.
Thank you. What editing software do you use? Just in case there's some people interested in this area.
Alright, well, to put the frames together, I use the ancient dog called Windows Movie Maker.
Oh, I remember using that like years ago at school.
Because that is honestly, I see it as the best for squeezing frames together. Then for all the After Effects and everything of that, I use DaVinci Resolve. Which is a free one, which is really good, because one, no watermark, and a lot of the effects are free to use.
Yeah,
I think I've heard about DaVinci as well.
Yeah, I've told you about DaVinci. I use that as well.
Yeah, and quite a few people I know who do like short films, like proper looking short films, even use DaVinci just because it's simple and easier.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Apart from when they change where the snipping tool is and you have to go looking for it again.
We don't talk about that.
That is true.
But yeah, you asked a little bit ago about like the biggest scale I have, like of a ship.
Yeah.
I have designed yet to build a 1/60th scale tugboat.
Oh,
She's
how big
actually
is that?
Australian, and she's about, what, like 24, 25 centimeters long, I reckon.
Okay.
And she is the steam tug Waddle. She is one of the only surviving steam tugs in the Southern Hemisphere that is still
Oh,
operational.
cool. Is that so? It's still being used,
Yeah,
like,
well,
for its purpose.
not for its purpose. She's more of a pleasure steamer now. Like, she takes
Okay.
people down the Yarra River and back in Melbourne.
Oh, cool. So what were they used for back in the day?
Originally built in Sydney and was used by the Royal Australian Navy as a harbour tug.
Hmm.
And yeah, then she was saved and brought down to Melbourne.
Nice.
Saved from the scrap.
That's what we love to hear.
Yes.
Now you said that you were inspired by the Titanic to start like building ships and stuff like that. Was there any other either ship or anything that inspired you, or maybe even another content creator?
It was probably more content creators of the time, like DeathBrick or Croper, like all the old Titanic animations of the day. Like, one that really sits with me now and I really like to still watch is Titanic: A Race Against the Time, which was a German one. Like, it's pretty decent, that one. It still holds up today.
And so, was that what got you into animating the ships?
Yeah.
Or just sort of building ships in general, or both?
It sort of got into both. That it started the ball rolling. Like,
So where do you think... Oh, sorry.
that's all good.
Where do you think you're going to take your channel next? Like, what projects have you sort of got coming up?
Well, for this year, I have a Christmas special that I'm going to be making. I haven't yet announced it, but I will be announcing it on the 25th of October.
You just announced it here.
I did announce it here, but it will...
Oh, it's okay. This will be released, like, later. You would have announced it by then.
It will be a teaser for a Christmas on board an ocean liner, because I think that's just sort of something that has been lost with the era of ocean liners going out of style. So I just want to make a video on how White Star Line on board the Olympic would have celebrated Christmas for those who believe in it, don't believe in it. For all that, I just would like to tell that story.
Yeah. What does Christmas actually look like on a ship?
I wish there were more photos of it, but they usually had someone dress up as Santa sometimes, like on board the Queen Mary, they had that. And they would decorate them like you would your house. They would have Christmas trees up. They would do a lot.
A lot of decoration. Yeah.
There was also the big feasts that they were usually expecting for dinner were even bigger. Like, they were...
True. There would need to be a lot of catering. Oh, Project Brickit, he's on the research. He's sending me all of these photos. Sent me one of a Christmas tree in what I assume is like a lobby of a ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also a photo that I'm going to be recreating in that movie from Olympic. It's of a snowman that the kids had built on the promenade deck.
Oh, cool.
I just really like that photo because it's like, it's a bit of a life that we don't really see. Peacetime, you know, not Olympic being badass and ramming a U-boat.
Yeah. So what time period would that be?
I'm gonna do it in the Roaring 20s, so when Olympic was in her heyday.
Yeah.
I also do have another way bigger film, yet again on Olympic, because I would like to tell her story, like everything she got up to. Well, not everything, I'm not going to animate 240 crossings of the Atlantic. I'd like to her ramming the U-boat, her sinking the Nantucket lightship,
Oh yeah.
her mad dash to save her sister the Titanic that night, April 14th.
Oh, that would be cool.
Because she did attempt, she was just a little bit too far away.
Yeah. Then do you have to build the inside of the ships, like for the set for animation as well?
Yeah, I do. I have designed the smoking room of Olympic that I do plan to build for the Christmas special and for all my other projects in the future.
So how many sets, like separate sort of rooms or sets, would you need to make for the Christmas one?
For the Christmas one, I've sort of narrowed it down to like just like a handful. I want to do a few cabin scenes of like first, second, and third. And then like the D-deck dining saloon, the smoking room for one. I also want to show what the crew would have been doing, standing out in the frozen North Atlantic on the open bridge. That would have been fun.
True.
It's a little alien, white Christmases to us Australians.
Yeah. I mean, like, Christmas in winter is one thing that's alien for us Australians, but Christmas on a boat, surrounded by the ocean, would be another thing.
Yeah, but I want to tell that story, and
Project Brickit.
Yes.
Passing the ball back to you.
Yeah.
You can now speak again.
Can I now? That I have my tongue back.
You can now. The cat gave you back your tongue.
Yeah. Now where's the shotgun to kill the cat?
Oh, please.
No.
Oh, another question for Brickships. Do you
we should have
plan?
written out some questions.
Yeah. Do you plan to do like any military ships, like aircraft carriers, PT boats, any of those type of things?
I have designed the Australian minesweeper from World War II, HMAS Castlemaine.
You mind sending that to me?
Yeah, I'll send that to you.
Mind sending that. It's a minesweeper.
It's going to be in War Stuffs. I've also another animation project of maybe one day to come would be a battle between Hood and Bismarck. I've designed Hood, still
that would be cool.
Not 100% with that. I do want to step into like Navy ships and all that, but the problem is I am running out of room keeping these models.
True. What's your setup like the studio and for displaying the ships?
Well, I've got a glass cabinet for all the smaller ones. Like, they all just share a shelf together. And then for the bigger ones, I have been needing to put up shelves for them.
Yeah, like, need to take a trip to IKEA and get some...
Getting some shelves, and yeah, I've had to make a few shelves my own because of just how big they are.
Then, speaking of other ship variants, what about like sort of, sail ships, like, pirate times, sort of colonization, old-fashioned ships? Is that something you either have done or
I
might
have
do? Or
designed, but it's just their hull shaping is so much more complicated than
there's a lot more
traditional steamer. Because their hulls don't go straight up, and they widen out and then go back in.
And I suppose there's a lot more rope. So if you were to include all of the sort of like rope elements, that would be quite tricky.
Yeah. They are better in bigger scales than mine.
True.
Because also sail ships were tiny.
That too. What do you think is the smallest ship you have created?
That would be the Sundowner.
Oh yes, how big is that?
That is a grand total of 10 studs long.
It's 10 studs.
10
That's
studs by 2 studs wide. She's tiny. She is
oh
the personal yacht of Lightoller of the Titanic.
oh nice. What was your first ship ever built? Like, doesn't have to be for the channel, like proper ship, just sort of like first boat
That
built.
would probably go to my first ever Titanic. Or
Mm.
one of these rainbow ships that I found at my grandfather's, still intact to this day.
Oh, how long was that?
I am piecing together probably 2015, because this was back when I was unable to look after myself. I was still a kid, all that. Yeah,
Yeah, so a little bit before you started YouTube.
yes, just a little bit before.
Hmm. Yeah, sorry, we should have written a list of questions before starting.
No, we
It was
shouldn't because
very
we're never organized. That was a thing said in episode 1.
true, but sometimes organization is good.
No, never.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Um,
do you plan to do any like aircraft carriers or big?
Maybe. I've been wanting to do a few cruise ships, but they are massive.
Mm,
I've been trying with. I'm probably biting a little bit more than I should really try for, but I would like to build Oasis of the Seas.
yeah.
If you did
That
not know, 360 meters long, biggest cruise ship on the
oh.
water at the moment. Well, not
Oh.
anymore. There's the new one that just came out, but
How big would you plan to make that, like as a Lego model?
well, I would do it in the same scale as all of my other builds, which is around 1/200 scale. So she would probably come out almost 2 meters long. Around about. By far the biggest model I will ever build.
Yeah, and
'Cause-
probably the most expensive.
Oh, yeah, especially with that blue color of the hull. That's not exactly a Lego color
So,
that they make frequently.
yeah, coloring would be pretty tricky when ordering pieces. Is that
Yeah.
ever limited, like when you design ships and you're up to coloring the pieces, have you ever had to sort of opt out for a cheaper color that is less accurate to the original ship, but
Not
is still close enough?
not really, because like White Star Line, for example, their like color scheme was the black freeboard, the yellow stripe, and then the white superstructure. They're all colors that you can get for.
Yeah, not too much.
It's like the ones that have more obscure funnel colors that sort of get you. Although I haven't really built anything with that. I suppose the only one would be Carpathia with the bright orange funnels. Well, funnel. She's a single funnel ship.
And then how sorry, I lost my train of thought. Have you tested to see maybe if any of your ships actually float in water? Or have you, is that a bit too scary to do?
I used to be more on board for doing that back in the days when I wasn't like scaling them or doing any of that. I was just freehanding them, looking at photos, and doing that. I did have a few successful attempts with custom ships, but every time I've ever put one of my Titanics in the water, it's just rolled over. I have been thinking on maybe trying it one day soon.
Yeah, that would be a cool video, I suppose.
Actually, the only one that actually does float is the SS Atlantic. She is the only one of my models to have ever gone in the water and actually float in it. So, you know. Suppose I do have...
It would be cool to get like a motor or something and sort of see if you can integrate it into one of the ships and just have a remote control Lego ship just floating around.
That would be pretty cool to do, but that would take some
Tricky.
engineering to do.
Yeah, might need to sacrifice a bit of the accuracy and scale to get it to be practical.
It would also, or if you wanted to keep the scale and accuracy, you'd just go for a much bigger model.
True. I suppose if it's bigger, then it's easier to float to an extent. All right. Bro. Project Brickit just sent me a little reminder that probably, how long has it been? Getting close to about half an hour.
Yeah.
Might be about time to wrap up the first
It's time
episode.
to say goodbye, good night, sayonara, and goodbye in every other language and ship language, which I believe is Morse code.
Morse
So-
code,
They
yeah,
could-
or
Do
radio.
you know Morse code?
Yes,
Morse code?
I know Morse code.
Yeah, but does Brickships know Morse code?
I know where to get English translated into it online.
All right.
All right.
But yes, thank you for coming on board for the first interview and for sharing with us a bit about your channel and your plans.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for having me here. It was very fun for
You're
my
welcome.
first podcast.
Now, before you go, do you have any advice for anyone who wants to get started with content creation in general? Sort of with your own experience of like sort of changing topics.
Don't
So-
follow what all the people say you need to do for a successful channel. Or what YouTube themselves say, because they only tell you follow trends,
Yeah.
follow market schemes, follow all that. YouTube, back in my day, was YouTube broadcast yourself. Do what you love, and I can guarantee you will find people who love the exact same thing as you.
That's good. That's good. All right. And is there anything? I know you sort of mentioned like Christmas special and stuff like that. Is there any other projects coming out that people should look out for coming from you?
Probably just the Christmas special at the moment.
Cool. All right. Well, I think it's about time we say goodbye. Project Brickit has a very special goodbye to say.
Yes. All right. Is everyone ready?
Yep.
I'm ready. Say
am
your special
ready.
goodbye.
Goodbye.
You might need to send me the audio file. Because on Discord it was just like,
We could hear it. It was just
yeah, we could tell what it
Oh,
was.
okay.